We're going live, brother. I was hitting the button.
What? Where's he? Oh shit, we live. What's up, Hutch?
What's up, brother?
What's going on with you?
Oh, you know, little this, little that, all day, every day. I'm trying to make some coffee right now and balance eating out with some friends of the wife and making it back for this, all the good stuff.
Man, I was hitting the live button when all y'all, well, this is what happened. A minute and a half before we go live, Native freezes up and bounces. then I go live. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just going to go with it. So I go live, hit the music, and then POTB's like right there. So I throw him on there. We're going live, you know what I'm saying? Then Hutch pops on like 2 seconds later, and then Native comes back. So there you go, folks. Everybody coming in. We doing the damn thing. All right.
Damn right. Hutch.
What's up?
What's up? What's up? I just fisted both of y'all.
No, you didn't.
I won't tell nobody.
Oh,
I was
okay.
gentle too.
Thank you. I
was.
appreciate that.
Fist bumps, fist bumps. What's up, chat? What's going on in the chat? What's up with y'all Friday night? What is up?
I literally just got my hotspot back on like 15 seconds before I jumped on here.
Oh, no shit.
Good timing, man.
Perfect timing, man. Usually we go at like 10 o'clock on a Friday, but tonight we was like, man, let's do 9 o'clock. To hell with it.
Right? You want old man time tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what's been up with y'all, man?
Oh, man. What's up?
What's up? What's the old man, POTB?
What happened, man?
Ain't got no sound, POTB.
Why are you muting, man? We want to be a part of the conversation.
I didn't even click mute.
There you go.
Did
There
it,
you
didn't
go.
you?
Nah, I ain't do it. I know,
Wasn't-
but it's easier to blame you than myself.
Right. Man, I was kind of freaked out today because POTB never sends me any links to any like bad news or anything. All of a sudden, he sends me this link, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh my God, what the hell is this, man? Quarantine.
Yep. That was crazy.
Prisons.
That was crazy.
What the hell?
He sent a follow-up link too, man. That was crazy.
Yeah. He putting in job applications there and shit. What are you doing?
I figure, man, if you get ahead of the curve, you might get a good position.
Trying to upgrade the employment.
Yeah.
Infiltrate. But I was thinking about it, and then one of the first things they said is you have to have proof that you're fully vaccinated by like October or something. I was like, oh, never mind.
That's what I'm saying, man. Everybody needs to move to Missouri, man. It's going to be the last state when this shit blows up.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. I got to drop this real quick.
I got it.
Shit, where is it? Boom.
Nice.
Good.
Proof.
I got it. Vaccination proof.
Arkansas whoop ass. What's going on? Pilgrim, Lady Smith,
You got all kinds
T
of
Mom Merkel, Doc Mac, Tin Man.
What's
Everybody.
going on with that?
Yeah, I saw TJ say hello earlier.
Oh shoot!
What up?
Give
Miss
me
Prep.
give me just a wee minute.
All right,
Joe
take your
Boy.
time. Take your time.
Adriana Turner. Hey sis, Lady Smith, woman of spirit. I like that.
Are y'all getting winterized? Are y'all ready to go, man?
Working on it, man. Working on it.
I haven't put
got-
plastic on my greenhouses yet. It's still too warm.
I'm dragging branches and shit out of the woods, man, so I can chop them up to have a big old pile of kindling to get fire started in my fireplace. And then we got the fireplace cleaned and inspected for the year too. So
Right?
that's one thing. Still got a ways to go though. What's up with you, man? You got shit set this year, man? I know last year you had some problems, Hutch.
Oh, I got problems every year. You know what I'm saying? It's just part of the game. You know what I'm saying? Freedom ain't free. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got the door on the shower though. I got the outhouse cleaned out. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking moving the garden around again. About to have that all set up. Hopefully we'll get our fireplace here like next week or something. It's gonna be a mad rush to get winterized, but I think we're gonna be like right on time.
Nice.
Nice.
We get better every year, so I ain't complaining. As long as we ain't moving backwards, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Right. What about the pipes and shit, man? Did you have to wrap them up?
I never even got to get around to them really this year, so it's just going to be one of those. If we get to a certain degree, I mean, if it stays the way it is, if we get to a certain degree, we're just going to have to go 2 or 3 days with some funky asses if it has to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But see, if you're sitting in this little ass cabin anyway in the wintertime, you know it's 20 degrees outside. You ain't sweating. You really ain't funky for a day or two anyway. So.
Right.
It's not as dramatic as it sounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Summertime's a bitch, but in the winter, man, the funkness, you can control it a little bit.
Wintertime is bed to couch. You know what I mean? I hibernate. I don't come out. I don't play. You know what I mean?
hear that.
I hear you.
I don't know, man. I kind of like the cold, man. I do, man. I like to go out and play in that shit, man.
The older I get, the more tropical I get. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The older I get, the more my damn arthritis starts hurting and all that bullshit. Knees be hurting, back be hurting, hands be hurting.
It's like everybody around here got their bumper stickers that say that they're winter Texans and stuff. I was thinking about that. I was like, damn, if we get an acre of Texas, we can go down there and chill out, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Skip winter all together.
Yeah, I know, right?
Well, shit, I don't know, though. Last year, Texas had some problems.
I know. That's why I was like, well, damn, Texas ain't no good no more.
I know.
They got hit with the weather weapon.
Yes, sir. You know, I was thinking about something, fellas. And tell me if this makes sense to y'all. Chat? Y'all might feel this.
Press 1.
Press 1. But I was thinking about all these volcanoes going off, man. And you know how they say the Earth's heating up a little bit. Maybe this is the Earth's way of cooling itself down. It lets out all these volcanoes, starts blocking the sun, starts cooling the Earth, and we get back to, you know what I mean? Maybe it's the temperature regulation.
Absolutely. I can't remember the dude's name, but he's been on Joe Rogan a couple times. He basically talks about the Ice Age, the cycles and stuff, and we're pretty much in the exact same kind of situation we are that kicks off every Ice Age. You know, volcanoes come up, the iceberg is finally melted. Remember Obama kept talking about, oh, this iceberg is melting. It used to be such and such. Remember when he did all that publicity stuff?
Yeah.
But, you know, a vast majority of climatologists or whatever just think that that's the last remaining bit from the last Ice Age. It was due to go anyway. You know, now it's just cycles, man. It's all cycles.
Yep.
That's what I believe too, man. I've read a book written by Jared Diamond. It was called Collapse, and it's about different civilizations that existed, and just for whatever reason, what caused them to collapse. But back during like the early Viking times, the Vikings had made a colony on Greenland, but all of Greenland was just grass, and it had a warm season, and one of the largest cattle ranches was built there. And then an ice age hit and froze them out, and they all, like, the whole civilization just died because they couldn't sustain their way of life anymore. And he was talking about how there's a cycle on the earth, just like you were talking about, Hutch, with the ice ages, man. What was that guy's name? Can you remember?
I cannot remember. It's there's two guys. One is a skinny guy. He's big in the mushroom scene too, and the other guy is I'm gonna have to look it up now. Hold on.
And then, you know, with the volcanoes and stuff, that changes like the magnetosphere. And I know the Ice Age farmer, he talks about this a lot, how the magnetosphere shifts as volcanic activity happens over centuries. That makes sense to me, man. All the climate change crap they try to push on us, it's not our fault. The hubris to think that human beings can change the entire climate of a globe And our weather can only be affected on a large scale by the sun. So, you know,
I was literally just having this talk with somebody the other day, a little like tween something, and I was like, okay, if global warming's a real thing, explain to me then how Cleopatra had the most lush landscape in Egypt, and now it's a desert with no water. Explain that to me. Explain how industrialization changed that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Come on.
I mean, in that Viking civilization, if it was warm enough for there to be just thousands and thousands of acres of green grass for them to have those large cattle ranches, man, Iceland, they can't do that there now. That means it was warmer over 1,000 years ago than it is now. Just like what you were saying. Then this is real science we're talking about, not the made up fairy tale stuff they be trying to make us believe. What's up, Ghost?
Yeah, I heard. I haven't been paying attention to the TV much in the last couple of days, but I heard. I think it was this morning. Hawaii's got a volcano that's erupting now.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I seen that today, but it's not coming out. It's like staying inside, just bubbling up. It showed like days of it, like being just gray and black, and then all of a sudden, like that, it started turning red and bubbling up and stuff. So it's lightening up too.
Wow.
So that's cool. We're gonna have another island we can visit here pretty soon.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm like 50 years ago, like when those volcanoes were erupting there, if you would have went and like bought land on whatever rock mass, because now it's lush, like tropical island.
Got it for like $2.
right. Man, he wanted to buy some lava rock, give it to him. Then 50 years later, right? Yeah.
This idiot.
Imagine the people that were picking on him. Like, look at that dumb motherfucker buying rocks and shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Is Mount St. Helens up in Washington, is that still technically an active volcano?
I don't know. It's a good question.
You know, they said that thing took 2 months to explode. It was doing, they said it was doing like what the one is in La Palma or whatever. They said it took 2 months for that thing to like explode. So that's why I'm looking at this La Palma shit, man. You never know. A month from now, that thing could just go bonkers. Be another Pompeii.
Well, they say, I mean, it's been constantly spewing all this lava in the ocean and it's hardening and it's making a delta pushing out. They say if it collapses, it'll be a large landmass pushing the water outward. It could cause tsunamis.
Hey, they say Mount St. Helens is the most active volcano in the the continental United States, but it's been dormant for a long time. It's just active underneath. It's not active on top. Active out in the open.
Gotcha.
I got a good friend called Google. He told me.
Hey, that's a cool dude.
So to clarify, it could be a lie.
Yeah, no doubt. Just a heads up for the chat. I know y'all might have seen the thumbnail. So there might be some people popping in tonight. Just Josh might, join us later. He has something to do, so it might be a little while, but he might make it up in here. So I threw him up on there anyway because he said he's gonna try his damnedest to jump in with us. Might be some other folks jumping in. I don't know. We're gonna see. But I just wanted to let y'all know in case y'all wondering where the hell Just Josh is. I think he's I'm just gonna spill the beans. He went out to see the new movie Venom. Dum, dum, dum.
Out of all the deals, Venom Carnage is my stuff, man. And Anti-Venom, yeah, that's my favorites.
We're going to see it next weekend. Me and the kids.
I named my cat Venom.
I'm jealous.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. They're playing it in 3D around here, man. We might go check that out.
Yeah, I'm pumped about it, man. Because I like Carnage, man. I like that whole storyline. And Woody Harrelson's playing
Carnage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna be good.
That dude's an acting fool, man.
He is, man.
Yep.
Off the wall. Militant Roots in the house tonight.
Yeah, I was just about to say, man, it's good to see everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all being here.
I went through real quick, y'all. It's Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson. That's
okay. Nice, man. I'm gonna check him out. Because I mean, I like real science. You want to talk about climate change? Let's look and see what's really causing it. Don't be telling us we got to pass $1 trillion packages to fix climate change, because we can't. Nothing we can do to change what the Earth's going to do.
Hey, now, if we don't pass a mileage tax, we're not going to combat the stuff for the things
Right.
to make the stuff better. Okay.
Yeah, you got to have the things, otherwise the deal won't work.
They need more Jetstream jets so they can fly around the world telling us about climate change.
Hutch, are you enjoying the new 2.5 cent tax a gallon in Missouri?
Hey, I noticed that the other day. I went over there. I was like, $2.99. What the hell? Yeah, it was like, man, you feel that shit. You really do.
They just increased our tax here.
That's like the first time in 20-some years, though, isn't it? Somewhere in that range.
I don't know. We're at like 19 cents a gallon for the state.
What's up?
What up?
Hey, late to the party. Sorry.
Good to see you.
Good to see y'all.
Hair looks great.
Thank
tonight.
you.
Want you to know
Thanks.
that.
I was putting my curlers in and just kind of,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lipstick on point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What's up, BOTB? Hutch, how y'all doing?
What's cracking?
Living the dream.
Hutch. Yeah, I hear
Right,
that.
man. Oh, I know what I wanted to talk to y'all, to change the subject. All right, so the company I work for, they transport fuel, propane, diesel, gasoline, stuff like that. So they have a bulk plant where all their big tanks are, and it's kind of way out in on the outskirts of the city that we work in. But anyway, I was out there today, just learning where all the stuff is. But when I left, there was an obvious like undercover law enforcement vehicle just parked on one of the roads that exits where the bulk plant is.
Mhm.
And it was like an SUV. It was black, all tinted, and it had like the little dome and the little antenna sticking out. And when I drove by, I looked in there, and I didn't recognize the patch the officer had on his uniform. Like, it wasn't local city police, and it wasn't the sheriff's department. And he was monitoring stuff on his laptop. So I was like, all right. So anyway, and I kept going, and I went around towards where another road that exits the bulk plant, a couple of miles around, and there was another one of those vehicles sitting there. So I was like, huh. So I rode by it just to see, and it was another one of those officers. And so I was like, just for shits and giggles, there's only 2 other roads to exit the bulk plant. Sure enough, there was one sitting there. It's like they were securing that resource in that area, in that region. Ain't that interesting that they were just sitting there like that?
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, like, if something goes down, they have to secure those types of resources for themselves, so they can jet around the county and do whatever they need to do. So got me thinking about a lot of stuff, man. And I just want to put feelers out and see if you guys are noticing resources being, I'm not saying locked down, but I mean, they could just be training and just seeing, what securing the exits, practicing doing that. What do y'all think?
I know over the last, at least the last 2-3 weeks, I've been seeing we've never, the first 4 years, we're in our 5th year now, never had a cop on this road at all. Now we're seeing cops at least twice a month down every road. Like, it's a private road. I'm seeing more, I've seen there were 4 helicopters just today. You know what I mean? It's I'm seeing all kinds of, it's once in a while, it's usual, but the last month pretty much has just been ridiculous of all kinds of stuff that I usually don't see.
Right.
I don't know, man, but I'm thinking about the UK. You say that, and I heard about the UK bringing, they're bringing in the military to deal with their gas crisis. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, maybe they're trying to shore up for the military to make sure they got the gas. You know what I mean?
Exactly, man.
Mm-hmm.
How many military trucks run on propane?
They have trucks in the military that'll run on any type of fuel: gasoline, diesel, kerosene, lamp oil. I mean, they'll burn almost anything to run. And you can just pour it all in the same tank, and the trucks will work. Not all of them are like that. Most of them run on JP8 diesel.
That's how their lanterns are too. Because I used to collect lanterns. Y'all know that. But if you get a a military lantern like Coleman lantern, it'll run on anything that'll put out fumes. You can run it on alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and that's why they do it, because when they're out in the field, they might have to find anything to throw in there to use it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they build a lot of shit that'll run on anything.
I mean, in that JP8 diesel, I mean, you could burn regular highway diesel and off-road diesel, like you'd put in a truck, a tractor. Those trucks will run on that. Those Humvees will run on that, no problem.
Y'all see that Doomsday show where the dude had built the pickup truck to run off of wood? He was just burning wood in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Gasifier.
Wood
Yeah.
gasifier.
Yeah.
It's a wonder you ain't done that yet, Native.
I've thought about it, man.
working on it.
I got the plan to do it. I don't have time to really tinker like I used to.
Still working on that. Go kart.
You know what I'm saying?
I heard something POTB, and the first thing me and Nisi did was go, "Oh shit, Josh is gonna be pissed about this."
Yay!
But in some bill, not to be bringing up bills and shit, but in some bill or something that Biden tried to pass, they're trying to ban people from putting together the pews at home.
They've been trying to do that for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's going?
It's hard because how are they going to legislate a law about something? It's not, the parts are not a gun.
They got to continue putting they got to continue sneaking in parts into these 1,000-page bills to pass some stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do eventually. Anyways, is they're just going to sneak one by because no one reads this stuff anymore. Anyways. Yeah, it's the whole reason you had that 135 Republicans that passed that red flag law, and they're like, "Oh crap! We weren't supporting this." I'm like, "Okay, well, what the hell, man?"
That's 1,300 pages.
Yeah, well, we figured it would get stopped in the House, and that's why we just.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. I think they knew about it. I just think that they wanted something, and they got what they wanted, and so they gave them whatever they wanted, and. I don't think the Republicans give two shits whether we have guns or not. I think they're no different than the Democrats, man.
I would put a lot of money on the fact that they don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did. I've told you this before. I did some security for some of those Republicans, the big rhinos, and they don't give two shits about people at all.
Yeah.
They say one thing. They practice their lines, literally practice their lines behind closed doors.
Right.
And then they go out there and what they're talking about behind closed doors, when they say they don't give a shit about this and we'll just do this, they change it completely for the camera. Like everyone knows, but I mean, like I've seen it. They don't care.
It's one thing when you know it, but then when you actually see it firsthand, it kind of solidifies it, huh?
Upsetting.
Yeah.
No doubt.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit.
You guys hear about the energy shortage in China?
Yeah, they've been having problems for a long time, for months.
They've been hiding it. Yeah, they've been hiding it.
Yeah, they have.
They've been doing that before, though, didn't they? I was reading articles about it. They've done the whole flashlights, generators, and like running on cell phone battery, lights and stuff like that a couple of times when they're trying to do their kind of like California. Didn't California do short like cuts and stuff like that for energy?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming.
Yeah, they've been having rolling blackouts and brownouts for months and months since back during the summer, and it was downplayed a lot. The media didn't really cover it very much, and China wasn't really letting it out. I don't know if it's a thing to try and save face or whatever, but yeah it's affecting a lot of the, I had in one of my videos, one of the major regions there are provinces where it's primarily manufacturing, where a lot of the factories are. And so it was affecting manufacturing because they need the electricity on, but here comes another blackout, Right. So yeah, they've been having trouble for a long time.
What something that freaked me out about China too is I forget who it was. I want to say it was New York Prepper, but they showed the map of, real-time map of all the ships that are backed up at the loading docks and shit like that. And they showed the U.S. and there was like a shit ton of them, man. It was like, holy shit, I can't believe. I mean, ships just sitting out in sea all bundled up together and shit. But then they went over to China and showed theirs, and it was like a million times worse. It was like, holy, like it would take you 3 years just to filter through all this backup. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then somebody made a really good point, man. They said that if somebody wanted to do some kind of attack, maybe an EMP attack, I forget who the hell said it. One of y'all might have seen the video, but they were saying it wouldn't be too hard to get another ship to come up in there, act like it's a transport ship or something, and then boom, let it off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wait till it's right up in the middle of everything.
No way
Yeah.
for our country to guard against that now.
Oh, jeez. Man, that never even
Not
crossed
at
my
all.
mind. Yeah.
I mean,
And we could have another ransomware on our energy grid. I'm
Or
surprised
EMP.
they have like a real one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's so much that could happen, and that's why the people who have the normalcy bias and don't think anything's going to change or anything's going to happen, or just wake up, man, wake the hell up.
Yeah.
Don't look to politicians. It don't matter who we like or dislike. They're all powerless. They're not going to do anything to stop it. They've already shown that. You know, they've been doing illegal stuff for a while now, and no one stopped it. They've let companies take our rights from us and violate our constitutional rights, the foundation of which all our law is based on. They've let them completely wipe their butts with it. They're not going to do anything. Donald Trump's not going to save us. I think he if he runs, he probably would get reelected, but I don't think he's not going to change it either. It's just going to go on like that.
I don't think he'd get reelected.
I just want to ask the chat something real quick, and I'm not trying to interrupt y'all. Y'all can go back to whatever the hell y'all want to talk about. But I just want to ask the chat. I just want to know what's going on around the country and around everywhere. Is anybody seeing shortages? Is anybody in the chat went to the store and seen any shortages? Because I'm gonna tell you the truth. Here where we're at, Nisi just went to the store yesterday and it was fully stocked. Like we didn't have no shortages of nothing. Like a hamburger was like $10. It wasn't that bad. It was a big pack of hamburger too. Like I'm in a little small area though. So is anybody in the chat seeing any shortages? Let me know. Let me know.
The only beef that we've got on the shelves is like the stupid, $40 for 2 steaks kind of stuff.
Yeah, same here.
Everything else is just
Same.
like pork. That's it. Like there's like no beef.
We had a
Go ahead.
Water? Whoa, it's going too fast. My bad. Yeah, I'm not going to interrupt. Y'all go ahead. I just want to put these up. Tennessee said he's seeing water shortages. What the hell?
We're running water here too, but that happened last time. They'll sell out, and then when the next shipment comes in, there's limitations on it. There's limitations, but yeah, as far as meat goes, beef is pretty short here. What is at the shelf is expensive, like really pretty expensive. I was at HEB the other day, and there's chicken, but in fact, I was talking about this the other night. I was telling folks, I said, I'm seeing more organ meat, and I haven't seen that before. When I lived in South Texas, you'd see tripe, people making menudo, you'd see different stuff. I haven't seen that here in Central Texas, but now that now I'm seeing tripe, chicken liver, chicken gizzards, chicken feet. I mean, like packaged up from Tyson's, not just 1 or 2 packs. I mean, like stocked up chicken feet, beef liver, which isn't that out of the ordinary, really. A lot of people eat liver, but beef heart was a big one. I've not really seen beef hearts before, but they had that. But they did. And there's chicken, and the price has gone up on the boneless, skinless from Tyson. It's like $3 a pound. But the no-name brand stuff is just there's no manufacturer name on it, is still pretty much the same price. So, but yeah, we're seeing some. It seems to be increasing. I feel like it's hard to tell around the first of the month because a lot of people do get paid first of the month, especially like this is a weekend. It's hard to tell. Is it a payday rush or are people panic buying? I don't know.
I am noticing though that all the bread, like even the fancy bread that we get, it's weird. Every loaf of bread we've got in the last couple of weeks is just, you know what I mean? It's got a weird taste to it, like it's been sitting for a while. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It lasts like 2 or 3 days, and you look at it and it's got mold on it already.
Yeah. I've
Yeah,
noticed
we-
Yeah.
potatoes, man. They're like the potatoes are looking bad because we
They
get
look
potatoes.
old, don't they?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
every time I go to the potato section, you know that rotten potato smell.
Mm-hmm.
I smell it every time now, and there'll be a bag or two that has rotten potatoes already in it, like mushy, nasty rotten potatoes. I'm like, come on, man.
Mm.
Man.
And we still got just like everything. We got increased prices, but we've got everything. The
That's
only
right.
thing we don't have is like we're starting to go out of like toys and electronics and things like that. We had a whole aisle of like Chromebooks, right? And it had one Chromebook on it for the aisle.
Wow. Wow.
It was just barren. And then we had just little things like toys, like Legos would be like half full in the whole aisle, like just things like that. And it's not like holiday time, so people aren't really going out there to buy that stuff. It's just not stocking as fast. I talked to some people about that too, because you'll have stupid stuff like it, and it'll be a distributor fault. So with Come and Go, like a gas station, you go there and you'll get like a shot of Fireball, and they won't have it, and it's because the trucks aren't coming in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's simple things like that. Nothing that's for where I'm at. Nothing that's important. Just stuff not making it.
Right.
I think slowly but surely. I seen a lot of people in the chat. A lot of them said yes. A few of them said no. I just think it's slowly starting to show its ugly face. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm in the tourist town, so like we literally like this week just restocked all the little mom and pop stores around here because tourists are finally done for the year, thank God. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like that little bump right after, because they'll wipe your store up in a freaking day, So
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I a lot of the shortages, it's like it's a shrinkage first because like you guys hit on it, like some of our favorite brands we like to buy are starting to disappear. So you gotta settle for whatever's there, and then you go back, next month, and then there's less to decide from. But we're really literally starting to look like a socialist grocery store where there's only like one brand of everything. Like you got to get this brand. That's all we got. This is what the government, supplies. That looks like where we're headed.
That's a sign of shortage right there, because you're shortage on different products from different name brands. I mean,
It means industries are shutting down.
Do you live in a small area, Native?
Yeah, the two towns that we shop in,
But
one's
there's-
8,500 and the other one's like 12,000 population. It's nothing.
So if I was going to be playing devil's advocate and I'm over here and I'm doing distribution, all this kind of stuff, and I'm pushing stuff around, I'm going to neglect you.
That's
For a
exactly
larger
what I've
city.
been saying for a year.
I
Yeah.
get that. I get
So
that.
I mean, y'all are like the early warning signs. The reason I'm
Yeah,
not seeing
exactly.
it, some of the areas I get my stuff from, the city
Right.
ain't far from me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll go there and get my stuff and come back, and it's fully stocked.
Yeah.
Like you said the price stuff is hitting y'all now though, right? Like the prices are going up. See, that hit us last year.
There was some what kind of steak was it? Oh, some filet mignons, right? It's like $56 for two.
Wow.
Dang.
Like
Could you imagine if you were a restaurant owner right now?
oh geez.
I bet they're
Imagine being a restaurant owner in New York City.
Do they even have an industry for that anymore in New York City?
I watched Angry's. Angry did like a 10-minute thing, video premiere. Man, they getting hit hard. He explained it real good too, man. Like I didn't realize it as much until I watched his thing, and it was like, damn, he's right, man. That's messed up. Because he was saying that the people are going to the better places, the higher class, because not as many people are going to places, right? So the people are going to the better places to eat and stuff because you can get in now. So it's really hurting the lower places. I don't know how to explain them or what to describe them, but you know what I'm saying? So it's really hurting the low man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm literally out of the loop. You know what I mean? Like I haven't had a job in 10 freaking years. So like are people out there like, are they struggling? Like, can they afford to go to a restaurant? Because like I'm literally clueless to what's going on outside of the Republic of Hutch here.
I haven't went out to eat in 2 years. Like sat down at a place and ate in 2 years probably.
We go out very rarely these days. And not anywhere fancy. Fancy places make me uncomfortable, actually.
Me too.
I don't feel comfortable. The food's good, but I don't know.
I don't belong there.
Well, not so much that. I just don't feel like I can. If I go out to eat, I want to relax and have a nice time, and I just feel like stiff. Like I don't. I don't know. I mean, we don't go out a whole lot. We've gone out a little bit, and it's been usually like a barbecue place or something like that. And there's not as many people that we've seen out. I mean, people are still going out. I don't know. At a major city, I have no idea.
I don't know how people have money as much because I mean, everyone goes out here. Everyone goes out.
Really?
Yeah. There's always it's not as much as obviously before because there's obviously hesitation for people and there's different things that are causing it, but there's always, anytime I go out to eat anywhere with the wife or anything, we go with sushi or something like that. And the place is filled up like a lunch rush and things like that. I mean, it's like a normal, I don't know, man. I've been living my entire life like this whole entire thing never happened.
That's
so I never warned him, never did anything. I just went around, and me and the wife went around, and it was vacant before, and it's filling up now, and it's just kind of, I don't know. I don't go out a crap load anyways, but
Do you think in a major area, POTB, where you are, since it sounds like you're in a much more populated area, do you think that feeling kind of do you think everyone is kind of like that, or most people? I mean, if most people are going out, are most people acting like it's pretty much back to normal or getting to normal, or I mean, there's always going to be people who have that hesitation and who are doing whatever.
I think it's more political now.
Well, it's
I think
political.
Well, no. I mean,
Yeah.
it's the way that people go out, I think, is more political now.
Much
People
more
want to be
overt.
hesitant, but people want to go out and still enjoy their lives. So people will kind of do things and act a certain way politically, but still enjoy the same thing as like myself that goes out there and just kind of I'll do whatever I want, and it's I don't know, it's I don't think a lot's changed. Well, the population's also so thick where I'm at, though. If 10,000 people decided not to go out anymore, I wouldn't notice it.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Busy.
So it's hard to like really picture it because stuff's going to be busy all the time, anyways. Half
Right.
the time when the restaurants are full before, if you couldn't get in within an hour or whatever, you just don't go there. So the rush and everything is kind of the same. But.
See, that's what it's like, the perception of what's going on, like my perception of what's going on. Like I literally don't see a single thing. I know the legislation and all that stuff that's trying to get passed, so I know where it's going to go. But it's like people don't really see it as being that bad, right? You know what I mean? It's
Right.
Does that make sense? It's like,
Yeah.
is it really out?
Part of the police.
I got a question for y'all. And for the chat. Ain't it funny how it was such a huge deal when they were going to end the unemployment stuff, and then boom, it was such a huge deal when they were going to evict 11 million people, and then all of a sudden something happened, and I haven't heard anybody talking about none of that shit, and now we're going through it. So what are they trying to hide the fact that all this shit is going on? Because it had to have hurt a lot of fucking people. You know what I mean?
Why is there still like 10 million job vacancies though?
I think it's sales. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
That was it, brother. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think it's sales tactics. I think politics and sales go hand in hand, right?
Right.
So when you're sitting there and you're going to sell something, you want to get out of it, you tell them it's limited. There's only so many. They're going fast. All this is happening, right? It's a rush and an impatience, right? You've got to get it now or it's done. It's gone. It's like prepping, really. You tell people, go get this or it's gone. I mean, in a sense, we're selling the idea of being prepared because you're sitting there and you're giving them an urgency. Well, politics do the same thing. So when they sit there and they're like, oh, well, hey, government's going to be out of money if we don't pass this now and it's their fault. now everyone's in an urgency and everyone's rushing and everyone's pestering their, congressional bodies and stuff like that to do what they want them to do. It's sales. It's all sales.
And they're so slick, man. They did that whole, the government's going to shut down. The government's going to shut down. But anybody who's old enough knows that I've heard that in my life at least 20 damn times.
Yeah.
Every single time they got to pass a budget, they put that fear on us and it blocks out anything else that's going on, like whatever happened in Afghanistan, whatever's happening at the border, whatever's happening with the evictions, whatever's happening. They put these little bullshit things all over the fucking media so they can hide every other thing that's going on that we really should be worried about. I mean, you say something to me like the government's going to shut down, and I'm like, shit, I wish it would. I wish the Bammers would go to hell home. You know what I'm saying?
Good.
Like, we'll stop.
Believe me.
Don't pay them a dime of our tax money. Shut it down. Send it to us.
Yeah.
That's why I saw somebody in someone's stream. This person says, "Well, what do we do if the government shuts down?" I said, "Celebrate." I don't know. I mean, who cares?
Go a party.
Right, exactly.
Man, my daughter hit me up, and my daughter, she's 18, so it's like, I can understand, she hasn't been through life that much, and it hasn't been paying attention. She's still young, and she's like, is the government going to shut down? And I'm like, yeah, it's going to shut down for the next 30, 40 years of your life. Believe me, every time they go to do this, they're going to be shutting down. So she's like, oh, okay, I ain't worried about it then. I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it, because the best thing that could happen is a government shutdown. I mean, I know it would be rough on something. I remember when the government did shut down for those couple weeks back in the days. Remember, like, the national park shut down for like 2 weeks. But I think to myself, I'm like, if I work for the national park and y'all shut it down for 2 weeks, man, I got 2 weeks paid. Well, not paid vacation, but I'm on vacation and shit. I'm sitting at home chilling. You know what I'm saying? It's not that big of a deal, man. They put that shit in front of our face, so we got to be worrying about something we don't even need to be worrying about.
What's the funniest part about it when it shuts down too? All they shut down is non-essential stuff, and the essential part of our nation still runs. And you're like, okay, so we don't need you.
Right, right.
Still running here.
Here's the thing, though. Do you think those people who are talking about the shutdowns, do you think they lose a dime when they do that?
No.
They're gonna pay.
Hell no.
Exactly. I mean,
we don't stop paying taxes.
Exactly. Yeah. Do we get those days off too when y'all shut down the government? That means we
Right.
have your hands in our pockets for those days. Man.
What they tried to push last time, it was like 900,000 federal employees who couldn't get a paycheck when they shut down last time, something like that.
Is that what it was?
Well, yeah, but who are they going after when they're going to shut it down? They're like, okay, so pensions and VA and stuff like that. They were
Social
going
Security.
after people that were going to be pissed off, not themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't like, we're not going to get a paycheck, and we're okay with that because we screwed up.
Right.
Yeah, but then they trick the people, because you get some dumbass on like Channel 9 News, and they start going back and forth talking about, they don't say that it will happen because it won't happen, but they start talking to each other like, well, if people don't get their food stamps, and then everybody that, gets food stamps is just like, what the fuck? When the government could shut down tomorrow, you're still going to get your food stamps. Like, that don't get cut off. But they'll sit there and talk about it and try to make everybody paranoid. Yeah, man, they're so slick, man.
Or they play the sympathy card. My favorite one, of course, is when they start saying, oh, that's the disabled veterans. Our vets won't get their checks. I'm like, that's the last people you want to piss off right there. You better give them their money.
Using our vets like that. Yes.
Yeah, that
But
really
man,
pisses me off.
I just a quick joke. I was talking to someone today, and they had just gone to the grocery store, and there was his brother, and this lady was using her EBT card, her food stamps, to get some food, and the dude I can't believe this happened. I wish I could have been there to see it. He said, hey, I just want you to know you're welcome. She's like, what? For your groceries?
That's rough. That's rough.
He said she cussed his soul out. He said it was worth it.
Oh, man.
Man, people get mad. We could stop giving people food stamps right now, and I guarantee you the government would tax us even more.
Right.
Like they turn us against each other, man. That's what they do. They want to divide us. Like they want us to be mad at the person who's getting food stamps. Like really, like they wouldn't take our money any fucking way. We should be mad at the 17 billion trillion dollars we're sending all around the world to all these fucking people that don't even give a shit about us, who scream death to America and all that shit, and we're handing them billions of dollars and shit.
They sent the Taliban like $65 billion.
Yeah, what the
And their excuse was, well, we were going to send it to the Afghanistan government anyway, and they're the government now. No, man.
No, they're not.
They're using the money to buy new blades, man. They're getting dull from chopping off hands and heads. Man.
Oh,
Right.
Lord.
And to get some more some Apache helicopter parts.
Right?
They got to pay for that training. They
No,
can't
so
leave
they-
them all that stuff and not
yeah.
teach them how to fly it.
They got. I was just about to say they got to pay somebody to fly those helicopters for them.
Rebuild those poppy
I
fields.
bet you they got some people that can fly. You'd be surprised.
No, I agree.
They got some pretty. Well, I'll say it this way: all the people sacrificing their lives for their ideology are peons. They're not the ones that are running that train. The ones that are running the train are the ones that have the brains to fix all that stuff.
Yeah, if you're
They're
dumb
the
enough
ones
to.
that were over here in our universities being trained to go back over there on visas. Yeah.
Yep.
See,
So
free
how long-
education, then they get grants for their own country.
So how long do you think it's going to be before it's a probability that anybody that's on food stamps, Medicaid, disability, Social Security, anything like that, they're going to start putting mandates on that? Hey, if you don't take the shot,
I'm surprised they haven't already.
you know what I'm saying? No assistance.
Right, man.
little by little, little by little.
Yeah.
Want me to really freak you out? What if YouTube says, "Hey man, you need to send us your card saying you got the double joint if you want to keep your channel."
Bye.
Dick pics.
I guess I'm gonna have a lot of y'all on my lives because y'all ain't gonna have no damn channels.
My backup channel is Prepper Tribe. Yeah.
I swear, I'll be renting this motherfucker for $49.95. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, StreamYard and Tribe.
Yes, sir.
She got a point. There's going to be like 100 Prepper Tribe channels. We're all original.
Who's the original Prepper Tribe?
Bet y'all won't hate me for that after I got that motherfucker after that. At least y'all got one. At least y'all got one fucking outlet. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone will be emailing, hey, can I come on your show?
All right, so I've got a question for y'all. This is one I actually posed to people last night and
Be ready.
kind of got a little bit
ready.
of be ready.
What's up, man? Long time no see. Sorry, Sandwich.
No, you're good.
Thank you, man.
So, how long until you think, or do you think, we will see stricter limitations in stores and or rationing, like for real rationing, like maybe Fed steps in and takes hold of stuff?
It's going to be different everywhere you go.
Do you think it'd be different depending on the state? It'd
Yeah, I
be
think it's
handled
going
by
to be
the
different
state?
depending on all the way down to like the locale, like the county.
Hmm.
Because when you think about it, you're going to have. So our county is going to control itself anyways, and if the state says, okay, well we're going to use this stuff, they're going to start fighting between it, and the state's going to fight the federal between it, and all that kind of stuff. So I would assume if there was some kind of a shortage, obviously also it's going to hit places differently. You know,
Oh, yeah.
it's not going to hit Missouri the same way it hits California or anything like that. So
Well, no, because we don't even know. We can't even tell if there's a pattern on anything right now coming out of distribution centers. It's just because who knows what's coming off what ship and going to which center to go to which store anywhere in the
And who
U.S.
has priority?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Wasn't that on your live, Sandwich, the other day when y'all were talking about it, and somebody said that rationing is kind of what they're doing right now with the limits and all that?
We were talking about it last night. Yeah. That's what I was saying. We talked about it a little bit last night, and some folks had some interesting ideas. Klingon Princess suggested rationing. I said, I think to World War II, I said, but that system was so complicated and ridiculous. She suggested an app, and I was like, I didn't even think of that.
But World War II was a different kind of people.
Oh, it was completely different. It was population was so much smaller. It was a different mindset, just a completely different generation. That was
Yeah.
over 70 years ago. I mean, it's archaic by today's standards, you know?
Right.
People
I
weren't as
agree,
openly
B-Ready.
divided either.
Exactly. Yeah. And I mean, you know, like it was pointed out in the stream, it was, you know, everyone was unified because we were at war.
Yeah.
So, you know, or someone pointed out it was a worldwide event. I said, well, this is a worldwide event, but it's not a war. But I mean, I could see stricter limitations for sure. It being handled at a state level, that's an interesting idea. I had not thought of that. As far as all the way down to like within the county, I don't know. I would think the state, if states are going to handle it, they would set up some sort of, you know, parameters or something. You know what I'm saying?
Well, think about it this way. So you have a team of 10 players, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're the coach. So you're the the head of your state. You're the coach, and you got 10 players, and you've got 3 of them, the biggest cities, let's say, and they're bringing the most revenue, the most into your state that you need, right?
Mm.
Don't you think they could be like, hey, man, I know we got limitations, but we need it more than they do. They're a small town. They're a farm town. They can take care of themselves. They got farmers. They whatever, you know. I think it'd be crack deals. It'd be crack deals, and I don't think big cities are, like I was saying before, big cities aren't going to see it as fast as smaller towns, because in the large, you know, thinking of it, a smaller area is expendable
Right.
financially.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Compared
I think B Ready hit on it too, man. When he said they're controlling the supply chains, and if they really keep gripping the tights on it, they can funnel it anywhere they want to. And they've been supporting the blue states. They passed that first spending bill as soon as Biden got in there. It all went to bail out the blue states because they shut down for a year.
right.
And so I think they're going to weaponize it too, and they're going to choke it off to the states who aren't, the governors who aren't falling in line. And they're going to use it as a weapon and say, if you want it, you gotta push our agenda. You want your supply lines to come in. I don't think we've seen the ruthlessness yet.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely have to play ball. Yeah.
That's why I'm a big believer that wintertime is when they're going to start pushing this stuff real hard, because they know ain't nobody trying to come outside when it's cold.
Yeah.
And
And they're mobilizing the National Guard. I mean, look, they're already bringing them into hospitals and shit. And what are they going to do with them next? I mean, there's always talk of the National Guard. If the truckers shut down, we'll bring in the National Guard. If it's bringing the National Guard. And with the UN shit and all, man, they're already getting ready, man. And they're talking to these other countries that are already doing shit. You look at Australia, man. Them police are deep as shit.
Yeah, man.
Them motherfuckers are deep. And I know that's what's gonna happen here, man. When shit hits the fan, that's what we're gonna see. We're gonna see thousands of armed motherfuckers out there, like police, National Guard, UN soldiers,
Right.
private securities.
They're building these quarantine centers that aren't going to be done until 2024. It means they're planning something till 2024 at the least. I mean, that should wake people up, man.
Yeah, it takes time to get shit done, man. It even takes them time. They can't do it overnight. So slowly but surely, just like they've been taking our rights, slowly but surely. You know what I'm saying?
But it's funny though. Like it was like you guys are saying, like they're like, oh, we're gonna do this and we'll get back to normal. It's always that like little carrot in front of you, like we're about to get back to normal, guys. Come here, little rabbit. And as they're just building the in Washington. Just saying, it's it's true.
Exactly.
As they're building it, here you go.
Right.
Just saying, anybody needs a job in Washington.
I mean,
employment opportunities.
We all witnessed a military coup in January.
Yeah.
They had to secure the Capitol so that Piss Pants could be sworn in.
So basically,
shut up, B.
Oh, go ahead, my bad.
I was just telling B ready. You ain't got to shut up, man.
So what the new governor of New York is doing by bringing in those is whoever she's bringing in to take the place of the doctors and all that shit. Could that program pretty much be federalized that will allow the not only the National Guard, but if they choose the UN or a private force to come in to take the place of certain jobs and shit like that federally?
They're
that
not going to have
oversees.
enough professionals to fill those jobs. Not every single one of the National Guard is eligible to do any of that stuff.
Exactly. That's why I was waiting to come back in here and say,
they can say they're doing it all day long. It's just a scare tactic, I think.
I completely agree. I'm watching a couple of people in chat. Bug was saying something, and Roaming Prepper, he was in last night when we were talking about that, and he said the same thing. I was kind of thinking, there's just not enough people, National Guard.
No.
I think a lot of people automatically assume the Guard, or even active duty military for that matter, are always going to, fall into lockstep, so to speak, and follow any and every order that's given. I don't think that's the case. We've talked about that before, Native, when you came over on my stream once.
But they're awful slick, though, Sandwich.
They are. I mean, I could see where things would be slick and start off one way and then suddenly, wait, what the fuck just happened? Wait,
But see, it could be more than National Guard, because she's I think she's even put civilians in some of those spots. So it doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? They could pick literally from anybody they want to. It seems like this is kind of like a way to set a precedent. Like, ooh, look, it did this. Now the next time, let's step it up a little bit. Man,
Jim Jordan was freaking grilling her on that shit, man. He's like, what? So what checks and balances are these? So you just want to appoint these medical professionals to make all these decisions on American citizens' rights? What's the checks and balances? What are they? Like, he was asked, she didn't have an answer. She said there aren't any. He's like, exactly. He said the elected officials should be the ones making these decisions.
Hogan for Maryland. He put in a thing saying, to have people come. He said you can get out, foreign people to come in and work at the hospitals, but you can also graduate early from college. So it's like I just heard POTB said a little bit earlier. He said, not having the qualifications. I don't think they give a shit if you got the qualifications or not. Just come in and carry this shit and push this button, and hey, it'll do what it does.
The hospitals. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
I mean, at the risk of sounding like a dick, affirmative action pretty much showed us that they don't care about qualifications.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shit, look at the president. Talking about
underqualified.
Underbrained. I've seen a lot of things about the National Guard. If they call up the National Guard, they'll give them full-time pay if they nationalize them and call them up. And a lot of them will be, I'll leave my crappy job to go and get a federal check and be taken care of.
Yeah.
A lot of them will do that.
And it wouldn't really be that hard for them to put out some other propaganda cartoon and literally enlist a whole generation of National Guard kids that they sell a dream to. Like, hey, you guys don't really have to do anything, but, come help us fight this systemic racist government. Join, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what else is really fucking scary when you think about it is there's at least 100 million citizens that believe in what all these fuckers are doing. They have a big army of followers and sheep, man. And I hate to call people that, but I mean, there's a lot of people in America that want to go along with everything that they're doing.
Right.
And
I like the way Lucky Dame says it. She says, I don't like to call them sheep. I call them lemmings. They're just running off the cliff.
Just following whoever blindly.
Right.
Because that's what it is. I mean, so many people, because they're not thinking for themselves for whatever reason, whether it's just willful ignorance or which holding up there? National Guard.
Remember that POTB?
Yeah.
This is a book for children that Walmart sells about the Constitution. When it gets to the Second Amendment, this book is teaching them that that's for the National Guard.
Yeah.
If you want to join the militia,
not for
you gotta
anybody
join
but the military.
Yeah, it's not an actual militia, it's the National Guard.
Propaganda.
Wow.
When I was younger, when I was younger, I would get in trouble, and I would never want an adult to tell me what to do, like ever. I really didn't. And you go and talk to the counselor at the school and stuff, and I remember a counselor telling me that every young person really wants to be told what to do. They want to have that guidance to tell them you should do this and shouldn't do that. And I think about it, always stuck with me because I really didn't. I didn't trust human beings. I didn't trust adults. I grew up, crazy and stuff. So I just didn't trust it. I really didn't want anybody's input because I didn't trust it. I thought it would hurt me. So But I thought about it, and I thought about other people around me. It always stuck with me, and now I look at it as an adult, and I see that there are people that just want the government to tell them what to do every day of their life. They'd rather have somebody else guiding them because they're too scared to do it for themselves or something. What is that?
Hello, Miss POTB.
It's culture.
Hi. I want to see the dog again. Hold the puppy
That's
up.
outside the box.
I'm like, dogs. I'm sorry, tribe. Dogs.
No, that's okay.
Oh, what's puppy's
Look at the
name?
baby.
Oh my gosh.
Meow.
His name is Teddy.
Teddy. Oh. So sweet.
Trying to mess with him, but he won't do that.
He's like,
Good
whatever.
looking pup.
He is.
Milk
Doesn't
maid
look very
and-
old. How old is he?
4 months.
Yeah. All puppy.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, he's
Like,
a
I
little
don't-
bird.
What's up?
Well, they start off like that. I mean,
Oh, let me do a close up, man. My bad. Y'all gotta be on me. There it is.
aw.
What's up,
And
Teddy?
here's what we're going to do.
What's up?
The dogs are making better decisions than what we've got in office now. So
He's like, okay, let
I
me go.
swear.
Yeah.
Puppy stole the show.
easily distracted over here talking about heavy stuff. And then dogs.
Right?
Look at the puppy. Puppy needs a little kiss.
I think that's a pretty good rundown about how we're running the nation right now. Guys, you have to stop this bill. Puppy.
Ice cream.
Right, right. Freedom! Kitty, kitty, where's the kitty, kitty?
Guys, seriously, so this is kind of sort of non sequitur. So we've been talking about that. Have you seen old footage of Biden from, I mean, like way back earlier on in his career in
Like
politics?
the racist stuff?
He's-
Like all the racist
Yeah,
stuff? that he-
yeah, even all that racist stuff. But when he would speak, it's like a completely different person than what we see now. It is complete. I mean, yes, you're going to change a little as you get older, but if you can't tell it is completely night and day. He was well spoken. I mean, what he said was bullshit, but he was well spoken. He was articulate. His personality was so different, And now you look at that compared to now. And I mean, yes, you could see maybe it would get tempered a bit as you get older, but it's like a completely different. He's not there upstairs. It's so obvious. I'm just wondering if anyone else, because I keep having stuff pop up in my feed recommended to me on the platform on the tube here. I know if anyone else was seeing some of this stuff.
I've seen it. He was he was a very simple-minded person, if you
Yeah.
ask me. Like he wasn't all that intelligent.
No, I watched one today where it said somebody had grabbed a clip from way back where they were saying, oh, well, he was saying something about, people being corrupt or politicians corrupt. And they said, well, we know you're not corrupt. And he actually said, he says, well, I don't know if you should think that I'm not corrupt.
Right.
And he wasn't saying it was, I don't know if he meant it as a joke. Nobody laughed. And he just kept going. I was like, you saw that I was like, the man just said he's corrupt. Well, I mean, this was,
Exactly.
I'm assuming he was probably in his 40s at that time, maybe.
Yeah, that was the fourth time he ran for president, and the other three he had to quit because they kept catching him in blatant lies.
Yeah. It's just seeing that personality change though, because I've not really I've seen some of him, in earlier in his career when he was younger, but it's just wildly different personality,
Wouldn't you like to have a candid conversation with him alone?
Right
would
now,
know-
no, I don't think he. I
I
mean,
would.
take
You would
ice
know
cream
in
with
5
you.
minutes. You would know everything you need to know about him in 5 minutes because of the dementia.
I
mean,
think
that's my personal belief.
I think we know it pretty well on camera. I mean, when he's, he's flustered, he goes off script. I have a hard time. I've said this before. I have a hard time being angry with him and calling names because I see that as somebody who obviously has some sort of cognitive issues, who's having dementia or, I don't know about Alzheimer's, but some kind of dementia, something's going on there. And I have a hard time being angry at somebody like that. He doesn't know that he's the damn president. He thought he was going on the retirement tour and all of a sudden he lives in the White House. That's what happened. He didn't know he was running for president.
He said he was running for Senate one time. I heard.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't know. He thought he was going on retirement tour. Like, bye. Farewell tour.
I'm very mad at him, and I'm very mad at all these old. I don't care how dementia he is, and this is not, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you,
No.
Lucky. I'm just saying that this dude. I don't care how much dementia he has. He has enough sense, and the people around him have enough sense. Right. America was built on some other shit. This is America, man, and what they're doing to it. It's the most fucked up thing in history. They are destroying the country that there's never been anything like America before, and there'll never be another America. Like, they are destroying something so grand. I hate them, man. I hate them all.
They'll finish it too.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to complete it. No one's, in
can't-
my opinion, and I'm not generalizing anybody because everyone's different, but I think a vast majority of people, no one's going to do anything if they have to give up their standard of living.
Exactly.
If you have to lose your dollar from your work, if you have to do anything, if you have to get into a different house, if you have to lose your standard of living, people go along with it.
Yeah.
And that's why it's going to happen. And that's, I think that's why so many times in history, stuff goes so far downhill, so hard until someone does anything, because it has to be rock bottom before anybody does anything.
Exactly.
See, that's what I was talking about earlier. And you said it prettier than I did, but that question earlier is like the perception, you know what I mean? The perception is not really that bad. You know what I mean? Like, we know what's going on, but the perception is, it's just another day. You know what I mean?
If you leave, this is the truth, because I've tested it. If everybody in the chat and everybody on this panel, if we walked away from YouTube for the next week and did not turn on YouTube whatsoever, you probably wouldn't see anything wrong with anything that's going on, because the news makes it look like it's normal shit. The TV shows keep going. You walk around. I mean, you would not know just how bad it is. It's like, and that's why they're attacking us. That's why they're trying new ways to take down channels and, do all this shit, because we're like and I'm not saying it's just YouTube. I know there's probably plenty of people out there that really pay attention and read into things and shit, but man, I'll tell you what, you leave YouTube alone for fucking a couple days and you don't even know what's going on, man. You think everything's, it's just normal.
Exactly. And I mean, people who are willing to give up their freedoms for security deserve neither and will lose both. Ben Franklin. And he's right. And that's what's happening. Mm-hmm. And that's what, that's why our whole society has been designed around that for at least 4 or 5 decades now. And so it's a part of our culture to want to be used to the lifestyles that we have. And you're mentioning, like, you're right, man. If we turn off YouTube, you're right, the mainstream media, the narrative they're pushing, and it's not just the news. It's in our TV shows. It's in our movies.
Yes.
I what I was watching. There's a show I like to watch that comes on Sunday nights, and just every once in a while they'll throw like a weird line. Just one of the characters will say something about people who aren't getting the vaccine or white supremacy, and it's completely out of context, and it ruins that episode. I'm like, man, they're really pushing. They're trying to inject it in everyone's daily lives, and I'm like, I notice it because we're on here doing this because I'm one of the woke, the real. Woke.
You're not woke. You're awake. There's a difference.
And think about the shows and the movies that they push all the time too, man. They got people. Look at The Walking Dead. I mean, that thing had a cult following. I mean, you get on when The Walking Dead was on, you get on Facebook and that's all anybody was talking about. And you take a society watching that, and everything else doesn't look that bad. You could have a lot of shit go bad and it still wouldn't look nowhere near as bad as The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? And you take all the movies of the apocalyptic movie, zombie movie, all this bad shit they push on us all the time to make it look like it could be so bad, but you got it so good. That way they can just easily do what they want to do until they have total control over us. Because that's what we feed our brains. We feed our brains with these movies and these TV shows. And then we going like, thank God there ain't no zombies outside my door. But yet there is zombies. We they don't look like that. Look at Joe Biden. He's a zombie.
That goes back to the fantasy part of it, man.
Yeah.
You watch all these fantasy movies and shows and everything. You're like, man, how good would that life be? As messed up and as morbid as it is, how exciting, how great would that life be? And that's what people wait for. And they're like, oh, well, it ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. It's not there yet, but it's going to collapse. It's going to crash. It ain't going to be that.
No.
I mean, if zombies roam the world, cool, but it's not going to happen.
This is not the apocalypse I was promised.
Yeah. right?
Yeah,
The
right.
worst apocalypse ever.
Yeah.
And they do it with everything.
Yeah.
It's like everybody I'm coming across, like out here in the real world, is basically like their line in concrete is the Hollywood idea of how bad it should be.
That
Right.
romanticized,
Yeah.
action movie, right?
Exactly. That's why people
Back in
find
the
out you're a
days.
prepper, and they're like, "Oh, you're one of those doomsday people who thinks." No, man,
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm a prepper. You don't
No.
know what
Right.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
I was thinking about that earlier. Everyone's crazy till it happens, right?
Exactly.
And you're a loony.
Yeah.
and then you're the genius who has all the stuff that they need.
But
And their new best friend.
no matter what, you're a loony bin until it happens.
Yeah.
No matter what, you ain't never.
Right.
I mean, we'll never beat that persona among the mass majority. Never
Because
gonna beat it.
while they're living their posh lifestyle, they can't
Mhm.
admit that you're right and onto something because they're not going to stop and do what you're doing. They can't
Well-
admit, they can't validate what you're doing when they're not doing it. Because that
Well,
makes
but the media tells them that we're nuts. The media says this is crazy. It's so strange. It's so oddball. There's something wrong with them. You don't want to be like that, do you? And
Yeah.
of course not. Nobody wants no, because everyone cares what everybody else thinks, except us. We don't give a shit.
Well, there's like what seven companies that own all the media in the world, pretty much. Like it wouldn't be
I was gonna say, I
shit
thought
to
it was
them.
less than that.
There's five
Yeah.
billionaires
Right.
who own all of it.
I read that.
If they throw some money at YouTube,
Yeah.
Bezos
What's
did what?
Mrs. POTB? Huh?
She said,
I said I heard Bezos bought the Washington Post.
Yeah,
she's asking if that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read that also.
Years ago. He bought it years ago. He owns it.
Mm-hmm.
but see, if they all gang up, because the rumor I've been hearing on all this little stuff is like CNN and all them are mad because they're not getting, YouTubers are getting more views than these major networks.
Yeah, higher ratings.
Yeah, I
So-
wonder what.
You know what I mean? If they make all, it's a private company. All they got to do is make a deal with the dude, the hippie dude, and boom, we're all gone and censored like literally overnight.
Right.
Yeah.
Make those contacts, people. Make those contacts.
Well, I mean, the Patriot Act already gives the government the right to say there's terrorist meeting on YouTube. We need to control it and shut it down right now.
Yeah, the Patriot Act, man, was. Yeah.
Yeah, and they can label anyone as a terrorist now.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as
Yep.
bad as Australia's new spying.
Right? That's,
I'll just leave it at that. Ain't as bad as that at least.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess that's not really. I don't know. I'm not trying to lessen it, but it could be worse, and I'm sure it'll get there.
I mean,
Oh,
even,
yeah.
even like when we had Oz on, she was telling us how they were controlling their internet and how they couldn't get on when they wanted to.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still trying to buy an F-16. That's what I was told I needed.
And a nuke.
hey, they sell them outside of St. Louis.
Mhm.
They ain't got no motors in them.
It's all right. I think I could piece one together. I got enough, lawn mowers and stuff, right? We'll make
There's like
something
a
work.
giant, like outside of St. Louis. I can't remember exactly where it's at, but it's a giant military junkyard. You could literally buy Vietnam helicopters, like the little Hueys and shit, all the way up to tanks. They got Hummers, everything out there. It's like 30 acres of nothing but military stuff.
Right.
Stop. I know. I'm gonna break it. Okay, I'm back.
We're all watching the dog. Where's the puppy?
Yeah, I know. We're waiting to see the dog jump up.
Here,
or something.
puppy.
He's over here grabbing cords and stuff like that. But you're gonna see my computer just.
Yeah.
See,
I
static.
mean-
Well, POTB will be back later.
We talked about this on the Brave Nation on one of the membership lives. We were talking about the 5 things you need to to completely take a nation's government into Marxism. There's 5 things you got to do. You got to completely corrupt the government and make it so that there's only one party, which has happened. The uniparty,
Correct.
the Democratic and Republican establishment, they're one. They're working together. So they got that. You have to control all the mainstream media outlets. They've had that for decades now. So
Done.
you can push out the propaganda. You have to take over and infiltrate and purge the military, law enforcement, and intelligence agencies. Done.
They're doing that.
Doing
Done.
it.
Yep, they're
Working on it.
purging, finishing the military, and the law enforcement is being purged. All these riots that they've let go on for the past year or so. That's to look how all the good officers who left because they couldn't put up with it, you know. And they've taken the teeth out of it. So they've done that. The last two things that they have to do is that they have to have a black swan event that will allow the government to call martial law or take complete control over things. They've already got the legislation in place to do it with the Patriot Act and other legislation they're trying to push to do that. And the last thing, you have to have a safety net because you can't just have the whole nation just fall into collapse and civil war and all these different things. So the net they have is the Great Reset. They've been talking about it, and the whole world's governments are already getting ready to push us into it.
Clarify a black swan event for me. I'm
Black
ignorant.
Swan event
This is
like,
all time, but I don't know
a real January 6th. That's what they're waiting on. One that they could point to and say, look, they had weapons. They were planning to do this. That wasn't, infiltrated by the FBI and pushed by the FBI to happen. Like a real Black Swan event. That's why,
Or a war with other nation.
Do what?
Or like a war with another nation. Like they could easily say, okay, we're going to war with North Korea and it's martial law because we're being there's submarines off the East Coast.
A real pandemic.
If we get boots on ground in America, should they declare martial law?
If do what now? I didn't catch
Say that again.
If we get boots on ground from a foreign troops on American soil, could they declare martial law even if it's only like 10 troops?
I think they would do it before they got them here, and I think that's what they're pushing because they've already got everything in place for the UN that they've already got UN boots on our soil and our embassies and stuff, getting ready to do human rights violations because of all the racisms and white supremacists running around. They're trying to push that as their reasoning.
Okay, what about we've always got boats Russia keeps coming in close with subs and stuff. If they set up a small Navy branch out like in American water, could they declare martial law over something simple as that?
Yeah, they could. That could be a Black Swan event. They could say we're being invaded, even if we're not. They could do like a wag the dog thing and say, "Oh, look, we've got Russian subs and Navy over here. They've infiltrated our country. We need to lock things down so we can flush out the Russian agents." Remember, they helped get Trump elected. So
I would think it's something. Sorry, I would think something like that though. They would do like a regional martial law, not necessarily nationwide.
I think they're conditioning right now.
Me too. I think they're conditioning.
Well, I think they're conditioning a generation. I think they're conditioning compliance with. If you look at like some of the celebrities that are out there, and their message is "F your freedom," right? And this whole entire concept of like you were saying before, screw your freedoms. What about our safety and security? That's our right, our safety and security. And they're conditioning this idea that people's freedoms are jeopardizing and killing grandma and all this different stuff. I think they're conditioning people.
I would agree with that. There's a lot on social media right now. Sorry, Tribe. Let me just spit this out real quick because there's people all across on a lot of platforms off of YouTube. You'll see it a little bit, but it's definitely if you go to your stupid Facebook, go to your Reddit, go to a lot of boards even. People are calling it, mocking, like they were doing for a while going, oh, America, that kind of thing. Now it's my freedoms, FREEDUMBS. And it's like, that's,
like it's a joke.
Yeah, it is. It's, it's mocking like it's something, like you're someone ignorant, that you're so ignorant that you're, you're
celebrities are pushing it too.
Declaring themselves to be wise, they became fools.
Sorry.
I wanted to add a little something about the martial law, because the way I see it is they would only have to have martial law on the outskirts of the country. Like the middle wouldn't matter. Like it would be, they would have to totally control the East Coast, West Coast, southern border, and northern border. They already got the northern border to where they can lock that down at any time with Canada and shit like that. They got the mayhem going on in the southern border. They got New York, which is the biggest city damn near in the world. They got that on total lock, and then they got all of California, and we know that's all messed up. So as far as like martial law, if they wanted to do martial law, I think it would just start on the outskirts of the country, and they wouldn't even be worrying about the middle. Does that make sense to y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Actually,
Because if you look, they don't really care about us because what Bill Gates and all them other guys are buying up enough farmland to sustain the cities. They don't need us for shit.
right.
That way, even if the Trumpers do go on strike and like, no, we're not selling you our food, it doesn't matter. They've got their own fields. You know, they're long game.
Yeah, man. If they can lock up, since you guys are in Missouri, if they can lock up the gateway to the west, like where all the major crossings for the Mississippi are, and like through Tennessee, the Cumberland Gap that goes through the Appalachian chain, if they can just lock up those routes of entry and egress, you're right, Tribe. They don't really need to take over the whole midwestern part of the United States. They just
and then they can keep that going to like grow food and keep the people fed that they want fed. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think if they wanted to purge people, you know, to population go down. I'm trying to say it in different words, but population go down. You would want to hit cities because that's where the populations are. You would, you know, if you wiped out half of New York, half of California, half of Chicago, and half of, you know, some other place, I mean, that's a hell of a lot of people. You don't have to worry about Montana. There ain't but 600,000 people in Montana. You know, you ain't got to worry about Missouri. It's you know, that's country folk, man. There ain't a whole lot of shit going on there. Like, if
I
they
tell
want to
you
wipe
what,
out
man,
people.
you better watch it.
No, I'm not saying that y'all ain't important. I'm just saying that, you know, they're going to be hitting up cities, man, big time.
I heard banjos come out of your mouth there for a minute, POTB. Right? Oh, shit.
Right. Ding, 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 ding.
No, but you know, that makes sense, though, Tribe.
We
So
like
it's interesting,
native.
like you lock up along the coastlines, you know, you lock up the ports.
Yeah.
You lock up
Yeah.
all of that, you know. Hell, they're
Yeah.
locked up right now anyway.
Yeah.
But, you know.
And then you got total control of the population too, because that's all the middle. My fault, Hutch. But you got, you know, all the people are trapped in the middle. You got control of all the surroundings. You got control of the outside and the inside.
Interesting.
Yeah, 'cause, like,
See, now I have to
the
wonder.
Mississippi River that separates, you know, the bridge to the west, the Mississippi River. It goes all the way to the ocean and it goes all the way up to Michigan. But there's, I think, 7 or 8, I can't remember, locks. You know what I mean? Where they got to fill them and move them up and do all that kind of stuff. So even controlling that, you literally can separate the entire country.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I have to wonder, would states play along with that, though, or along with Texas? Texas might, I don't know about Abbott. DeSantis in Florida, he's been awfully vocal about other things.
But I think about that sandwich. I think about that, and maybe that's why they're letting the borders be flooded down there in Texas. Because how can Texas do anything if they're
Get distracted
overrun?
that's a good,
Dude, I want to know.
I know there's a lot of Texans who probably volunteered.
Are gone. All 50,000 of them are gone, and the dude pretty much said most of them's been released in the United States. I think only a couple of thousand they deported. So where are they? What do you mean?
And there's 60,000 more coming. Panama let the country know that 60 more thousand are coming.
Oh, good. Hey, gosh. Sam.
What's up?
What's
good? What's going on?
How was the movie?
It was pretty good.
Spoilers. No spoilers.
It was pretty good.
It was all right.
Yeah, it helped my attention.
Hey, Josh, compared to the first movie, man, where we at?
What do you mean? Just like, I think it was a little bit better.
Oh,
I think it was better.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, man, it's cool.
We're going to see it next weekend. That's why I asked.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was worth it, worth the money, worth the time. You know, a lot of movies nowadays aren't, but that one was.
Did you see it in 3D?
Nah, man, I can't. I'm too old for that. You got the action.
Be ducking.
What the hell? Hutch, lame. What's good? Lucky Dame.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
What's going on, Josh? What's up, man? We just talking about the fall of the Republic and how we're gonna.
Same stuff.
The
usual.
Can somebody explain to me what's up with these damn volcanoes? These earthquakes and volcanoes. Hutch, what's good, brother?
Just Jesus coming.
Living the
back,
dream, man.
Man,
Sorry, if I just got this mental picture of like Jesus rising up out of a volcano, be like, shit.
Right.
I'm prepping for anything.
We did talk about it, Josh. We talked about the volcanoes might be erupting right now, so the Earth can recondition itself to make up for all this heat. It's like cooling the Earth down.
Gotcha. Yeah, makes sense. Man, this is probably this is. I caught this video earlier today, right? And it just caught my attention. It's probably just a little conspiracy theory, but one of the videos, the dude was like, and I never heard this before, but he was like, "You remember Fukushima?" He's like, the scientists said that the reactor core number 2 was lost. They couldn't retrieve it. This is fun. This is fun. He's like, the core, they couldn't retrieve it. And it just sunk. It disappeared. And he's like, it should take about 2 years for it to hit the lava, the magma. And then everything just goes crazy. I just thought that was cool, just to play around with and stuff.
Dang, that is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
So a nuclear reactor is just going down to the core of the Earth. Is that
melting through? Yeah, melting
That's
through.
causing the
That is crazy.
volcano eruption. I don't know. Somebody on my stream last night suggested maybe the volcanoes need to be appeased by throwing in some politicians. I
Hey,
thought that was a pretty good idea.
absolutely.
Like all of them.
Yeah.
Pick some. I suggested maybe somebody didn't throw one in and it was going and throwing it back up. I don't know.
You don't try, right?
Yeah, man. Crazy times. What do you guys think about the National Guard? I mean, just overall, it seems like the National Guard is like stepping onto the scene for civilian roles. You know what I'm saying?
The nasty girl. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, they're mobilizing them, man. They're getting them in place, man. They setting them up. I would like to talk to some National Guard to see what their training is nowadays. Are they training to drive trucks? Are they training to be nurses and doctors? And are they, what is their training? Because if you could get an eye on what they're training for, we would know what's coming.
I mean, it just depends on what MOS is available and what the openings are. So it's just like active duty, as far as I know.
I'm sorry.
But I mean, like, what are they changing? There's got to be some changes going on. There's got, like, they're used to doing things this way, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, why are we training for this now? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it's part of the plan.
I'm gonna let the military people answer. I'm just a wife. I don't know.
I was just gonna say, if you can go to your local National Guard and you can talk to them. You can go in the office and you could just do it under the guise of, hey, with everything that's going on, I just wanted to meet you guys and see, what is your role in emergency stuff and with the
Catfish
pandemic.
the recruiter.
Yeah.
Like, get the hell out of
I
here.
mean, they're glad to talk to you. And a lot of them are good people. They're good Americans.
Yeah.
Some of them are like the staff sergeant that we all hate from TikTok. But they are. But a lot of them, like I know one of the local towns that way from us, they're pretty much a transportation unit. And they have a huge motor pool of big trucks. So I mean, who knows? Like, and the one over here is like they do like what is it? The MLRSs, where they shoot the 6-packs of the missiles. It's like a track vehicle, POTB.
What's up, man? I was reading the chat, man.
He's over there playing with the puppy dog. He's like, what?
That's what I mean. Like, and that's within like a 30-mile radius. There's like 6 different National Guards, like within a 50-mile radius of just where I live, out here in the middle of nowhere. That's what I mean. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize, what is your local National Guard unit doing? What is their specialty? That's why I was saying I encourage people to go and check them out.
Ours is all military. I mean, good Lord. I mean, infantry.
Are they?
Goodness gracious.
Wow. Wait, I'm gonna write that one down. Wait a minute.
Oh, God.
Get them.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's a good day. No, I wanted to say something on here because two things. For one, when you're talking about earlier, what are they going to be doing? How are they going to be acting? Cross training. You might be infantry, but it doesn't mean you can't get your ass in the truck and drive it. You might not be doing any maintenance on that thing. Somebody that's a specialty might be doing that, but you can do that. You know what I mean? Exactly. So there's cross training in everything.
You don't need a CDL. You're right, brother. I hadn't thought about that. You can drive a
and
big old
another-
truck.
I
The
thought
other
you
thing
did
I was
have to have
just
CDL.
gonna address. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, I was saying I thought you did have to have CDL. Like, because someone last night was asking in my stream, oh, are they going to bring National Guard in to fill in these trucking positions now and to move product across the U.S. and blah, blah, blah. And
They
so
drive
folks were
military
saying,
vehicles, they don't need CDLs.
Unless they changed it since I got out.
Yeah.
I mean, I drove stuff I didn't have any CDL for.
I drove stuff I had no business driving.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Just driving. Get it.
Knocking trees down and shit. Yeah.
No, I was gonna
I
say
did
Eddie
need-
Allen there was sitting there
No,
saying
you're
that they
not.
bring in the
Mr. did
National
too.
Guard. What's that?
No, I was telling Native, I know you're serious. Mr. did too.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Mr. knows. Driving in Bradleys.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Eddie said he was bringing in the National Guard so they could bring in the United Nations, stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be that simple. You can't just sit there and activate National Guard and tell them to like go
Right.
be rough and violent with people. You've got to bring it in slowly.
Right.
You got to be like, hey, no one crosses this line. No one goes in this building. You got to do some really, really subtle, soft stuff with it. You can't just go straight out there hardcore. I mean, it might build to that. I mean, look at places like Germany and stuff like that. People listen and do what they're told eventually, and you got to build and progress to that point because it's just a little bit more. Like I was saying when I texted you earlier. Just 14 days. It's just a little longer. It's just this, just that. And it just keeps on building because eventually it goes, shit.
Yeah.
All right.
What you think? Like, what if they took a National Guard unit from Florida and sent them to New York City, and then they took a National Guard unit from like Montana and sent them, to California? You know what I mean? They'll be doing it against people they don't know. Like, it's not their area. They're just there to do. But I just see them doing these little underhanded, devious stuff because they're soldiers. Most, they're just going to do what they're told.
Yeah.
Is it plausible that they could do a volunteer sheet for the actual military? But like, hey, we don't have enough National Guard. Does anybody, enlisted want to volunteer, to come stateside and do such and such, job or whatever? Could that be a possibility?
A draft?
But you mean
Draft
you're talking
like
about?
daughters, draft the females.
Are you talking about bringing people back from deployment overseas? Is that what you mean, Hutch?
Which is here.
Yeah, pretty much anybody who's active duty other than National Guard. Like, they're like, oh, no, we don't have enough National Guard to do what we need to do. Can we bring in actual soldiers?
Oh, the federal troops.
Well, when I was in, I don't know if this is still the thing. When you sign up, like if you do a 4-year run like I did, what you're actually signing up for is 8 years of service, but you're only active those 4, but you've still got 4 years of inactive. That way, if something happens before they draft anybody, you're automatically pulled up because you signed for 8 years of service. And that don't go away until after 8. Yeah.
Oh, so somebody could have been on their ass for like 3 years and all of a sudden, boom, hey, you got a year left. We're calling you up. One of those kind of things.
Yeah. Like, if you don't, you go straight to jail. If you say no, I'm not coming back in. It's like, well, you owe us a year, so you can do it in jail or you can go and serve.
Yeah. I mean, it's really soft when they don't need anybody because you're supposed to you're supposed to maintain a certain everything the whole 4 years. You're like ready.
Right.
You're not supposed to smoke.
Yeah.
You're not supposed
keep up your PT and
you're supposed to keep clean. You're supposed to do all kinds of stuff and keep up with certifications. And people are like, yeah, okay.
And look how quick we fall for it though. Think about when the whole thing first happened in 2020 and Trump mobilized the military boat to go up into New York to be another hospital.
Yeah.
You didn't hear one person say, wait a minute, man, why are we bringing the military into this? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was, we need it. We need the help. And really, New York didn't even need that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But how what's the next time we're going to fall for that? When are they going to bring in military for something else? And we're just going to be like, yeah, that's needed. Thank God he's doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, wait a minute. We need to stop falling for shit so quickly. Yeah. Just saying.
See, that right there automatically, everybody worships Trump, but like he set the precedent. You know what I mean? Exactly. That's why I'm like, get off that dude's nuts. He set us up for failure in the long run. You know,
He did. He did. We talked about that. We've said that shit. We've talked about that shit.
Yeah.
Don't look
When
to anyone
everybody
to
else-
save us. It's time for the American people to save themselves. We don't need politicians. We don't need to. Everyone, we want to get someone in there and get them elected so they'll take care of this. We're past that. We got to take care of it now. Our system has failed. We can't look to it to save itself. It's failed.
Yeah.
That's, the Republic's
they're
already
gonna
Government
failed.
is too big.
like you were saying, you know, any TV show you watch now has just got one or two little subtle hints, like, oh, look, you know, YouTube is a terrorist, or you know, this
To
these
normalize
people
it.
are Nazi.
Yeah.
Just throw it out there. Just
Exactly.
look, you know what I mean? They're already demonizing us. And
Yeah.
like I said, the perception is that shit's really not that bad. You know, the perception.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's literally nothing anybody could do to rise up now, you know, other than, you know, protest that would have a positive result, because the perception is automatically that person is batshit crazy because there's not enough people to do it.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Sir.
What if we
Sorry.
just try another 14 days
Yeah.
to slow the spread of
Everybody
terrorism?
knows the hardest part about the first 14 days is the first 18 months. Once you get past that,
Once you get past the first 14 months,
It's the
Yeah,
longest
right.
14 days I've ever had to deal with.
right?
Yeah.
Just 14 days to slow the spread of liberty and freedom.
I remember how pissed off I was when it first got extended too. Like, son of a bitch.
Really? I
Yeah.
knew it was coming.
I was gonna say, but did you think it wouldn't be though? I mean, did you?
I mean, in all reality, no, I didn't, and for one reason.
Yeah.
Most people want to get reelected.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I was sitting there thinking, like, this
I'm just
is
saying, if you're all of a sudden you come in there and it's going through that, and they break it down like, hey, we're good, we got to go with this, we got to go, you know, natural, whatever. I would figure people would try that route. I don't know. I think it was so confusing for people politically. I don't think anybody knew how to freaking react to it up there. I think they all just did shit to do shit, and then went on that premise and was like, bring me back because of this. You know, I brought the Navy ship over there to New York.
Right.
You know?
I literally think the only thing that saved Missouri for real is that Josh Hawley got rid of Claire Bear. You know what I mean? Because I think if she was still in, Claire McCaskill, if she was still in, I think Missouri would look like a completely different place right now.
Oh God. Yeah, I agree. I
So
agree.
we barely missed that.
She was a federal cut.
Can I ask you guys a question?
yes.
No.
This is
Sorry, it's time for us to look at the puppy again. Where'd the puppy go? No.
right. So this is. I'm prepping right now for the slow burn. That's it. It's not going to be a 1776 next week. That's not going to happen. I'm prepping for the slow burn. But what do you guys think? Nobody has the crystal ball, but 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15. You know what I mean?
As long as they can until we get to 2030. They have a plan in place, man. I think Trump disrupted it, but they're right back on track, I think.
2030 is only 8 though. So you're thinking somewhere in that time frame?
I think what Trump did though is he woke so many of us up, or not him, but he revealed what's really going on. He showed the mainstream media for what they are, and I think, like I said, they're waiting on that Black Swan event, and I think they're going to try to prolong it as much as possible so they can get everything in place because they know it's coming. I tell people all the time, man. Like I heard a video today. Someone was talking about how the Amish don't pay taxes.
Oh, really?
Nothing. And the only reason why is because was it Tim?
It was on Temple yesterday.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I had never thought about that. And he brought up the point that 200,000 Amish people just said to the government, no, we're not doing that. It's not right. It's not legal. And they said, your move. What you going to do about it? And the government said, okay, we'll give you a religious exemption.
Are you
So they're not a part
They're
of the
not part
draft.
of the draft either.
Yeah.
Right. So what if
Yeah.
the American people just said, no, we're not doing this? Together, we all said that and stood up and said, your move, government. What are you going to do? We just don't want you to tramp on our rights. Go ahead and do it.
But
I've been doing that for years, man. I'm in a little bit of trouble for it, but I've been doing that for a year. I don't know what the hell y'all better catch up.
Nisi, I think it was Social Security. They don't pay into Social Security, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Native, in
Wow.
a sense, though, with so many people, so
Or
much of the
property tax.
population not having the jab or the second part 2 of the jab, has the population not stood up in some sense and says, no, we don't want that, just by, I mean, not vocalizing it, no protesting, just we're just going to be quiet, not get this. And that's why the government is now
Right.
trying to bully everyone and intimidate everybody and holding your jobs hostage.
Exactly.
You know,
Slow burn.
They
so
know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. That's all I had.
I was just reading in chat a bunch of people saying that's incorrect, that the Amish do pay taxes. So Temple
Yeah.
was wrong.
Yeah, Nisi, today we were talking about it, and she said that somebody did an interview talking to the Amish,
Right.
and that they actually pay taxes, but they don't vote. They refuse to vote. She explained it, man.
Okay.
She would, you know what I'm
It has to
saying?
be
But
minimum.
What he was
Minimum.
talking about on
Yeah,
there,
it's
though, I think it
probably-
was Social Security, though, wasn't it? It wasn't
Yeah, is
taxes.
that
It was
what it
Social
is?
Security in the draft.
Oh, okay.
But still, the point is there. You're
Yeah.
right, Native.
Yes.
If 50 million people stood up and said, "We're not giving you anything until
Right,
you
we're not
do what
paying
the hell is
taxes
supposed to be
anymore."
done," what could they do? There ain't enough
They're
prisons.
not representing us, so why should we pay them and keep giving them our money to waste and throw away and do things that the majority of us, don't want?
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired of
The
paying
problem is-
property taxes. I have to pay the government
Right.
rent to keep what I own. If
Yes.
I don't, they confiscate it and they auction it off. I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's not right.
It's wrong.
AP.
See, the problem is though, you'll never get it to where you actually have to physically pay your taxes each time. They're going to take it out before you even see it. That way, it's never an issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, property taxes, you have to go to the courthouse and pay. It's done at the
Yeah.
state level.
Well, yeah.
AP was like,
Payroll and all.
Yeah. AP was like yesterday. I think it was yesterday. He was like, "Stop paying your taxes. If everybody stops paying their taxes, right?"
Yeah, he sure did.
And I was listening, and I'm like, that shit sounds marvelous. But
See,
you
that's
have so many
Protest
people
that
who have,
I would get on board with.
yeah. But how can you? People with mortgages
It's
are paying their
impossible.
taxes automatically. You know, every time we purchase gas, when the necessities, there is a tax. Food, there's a tax.
Right. Now,
So-
sales tax, I'm totally
So
on board
stop-
with that. I think they should
Stop
they
buying
should make,
shit.
They should make the sales tax higher. Stop
Yeah.
taking money out of our income. Stop taxing our income. Stop taxing
Yeah.
our property, and let's just have a national sales tax. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Stop buying shit you don't need.
I could be
Right.
totally wrong with this one, but I say a signal to the powers that be that like we're not happy right now. Everyone, it probably wouldn't happen, but everyone should take one day off of work and legit kind of protest. That
On
that
the
would
same
show,
day.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, you can plan it ahead of time. You can get your little vacation pay, your time off pay, whatever it is. But one day that wouldn't hurt us too much, but it would show the powers that be. And I mean, like, lots of people just
There's
take the day off. They'll be
Yeah,
like, nah, they're not fucking around. They're serious about this.
There's
Yeah.
something that was going around. I don't know how organized, or it's probably unorganized. It was national labor strike. Are you familiar with that? It's supposed to be. They tried to get it together for one day. Everybody take that day. Don't show up to work. Don't do whatever.
Yeah.
But their list of demands were like ridiculous.
Okay.
It's very communist. But it was, everybody
Gotcha.
needs like $20 an hour minimum. I'm like, well, that's not going to happen.
I got you.
It's that kind of stuff. But it was a national labor strike, supposedly. But then there was a lot of blowback, and there was a lot of infighting in the organization.
Bureaucracy.
Imagine that. Yeah.
That's the problem.
Because they also wanted the movement or the organizers to somehow provide
Yeah.
pay for people who couldn't afford to really be out of work and that kind of stuff. And they weren't being backed by any major union,
That's our problem. Right there. That is our problem. That's it. The luxuries that we have.
Mhm.
They have us in a position as to where we need every day's pay. And the people who can afford to do it, they're comfortable. So I don't know. Slow burn. That's what I'm seeing is just a slow burn. Look, the National Guard's coming onto the scene. The 72,000 nurses, and I want to tell you, that wasn't just in New York. That was in Houston. That was in cities or across the country. Nurses just dipped. And the National Guard's quietly tiptoeing onto the scene so that it can be normalized. We'll get used to it. And you give them an inch, they'll take a foot. And we're kind of letting it happen. Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt.
I think one of the things that's pissing me off the most is that McConnell is still acting like he's representing us.
Yeah.
Connell, what a joke.
You know what I mean, I think we need to start raising a little bit more hell within our own party. You know what I mean? To kind of be like, no, let's it's time to change this shit up because it's back to business as usual. They're already compromising. You know what I mean? It's like nothing ever happened with that. We need to start pissing those people off, getting in their faces and letting them know they're bullshitting. Something.
It's all rigged, man. It's all rigged and set up, and they're all put in place, and they stay there forever. And there's a man, I just don't see the normal ways of doing things is going to take care of business, man. It's got to be some. Yeah, it's got to be some new ways of doing some shit, man. It got to be something.
The sooner the better. But the sooner people aren't really willing to give up their luxuries. That's the problem. When I say luxuries, I mean the freezer full of meat. You know, the
bathtub.
Exactly.
Yeah. People aren't ready to be on
the weekend trips.
Yeah, going down a rabbit hole then, you know, hypothetically.
Yes. That's what's gonna get us.
What's up, Hutch?
I went squirrel already.
Oh, all right.
Welcome to my world.
How's the harvest going, man? How long you got to cure your stuff?
My goodness, I saw that.
Look at that.
I saw that.
Gorgeous. Good gracious.
Oh my goodness. Hanging from the rafters like, oh my goodness.
Pounds and pounds of it. Well, look at
man, when it comes out of water and Hutch, you're going to be the man.
Man, is that purple? What is that?
Let me see the color. Get close to that.
I didn't get no colors this year. I still got some out there. If it gets cold enough, I might start.
We're all over here assessing the value. Like, well,
yeah, right.
Press one. Press one.
I can smell the pungent gloriousness that's around you right now.
Hey, it smells like somebody blew up a skunk.
Well, that's a selling feature I see there. That's
right.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm a little late, so okay.
Whoa! Let me.
POTP.
Yes.
Wow.
No,
yes.
man.
Press one. Boom! 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 Boom!
My mouth is watering.
Oh, I just forgot my name.
Right.
I just hit one because Tribe told me to. I don't know what it means.
Right.
I don't know. Whatever.
Hey, Hutch, no big deal, but I'm gonna be up your way here in like an hour or two.
Yeah. You don't need preps, Hutch. You got everything you need right there.
Yes, indeed.
I'm good, man.
He got preps.
That's right.
This whole bitch can burn, and I'm good.
If it burns, everybody's gonna be good.
Yes, sir.
Town.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I thought you were in a better mood for some reason there, Hutch.
Hey.
Just watching the world on fire.
The pressure's off now, man. Right? Like while you're packing your stuff up, it's fun, and you're like, man, you're on cloud nine.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this last week and the next 2 weeks, I fucking hate weed. Fuck it all. You know what I mean? But here in about a month, I'll be all right again. When you sitting there just calm.
It's a lot of work processing.
A lot of work.
Damn, Hutch.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That
Not
really
that
is.
I know personally, I've ever done that before. It's just I heard.
So who's taking the trip? Who's taking the trip, man? Who's tripping up there, man? I'm giving it serious thought. I only got I gotta let Hutch know by the 15th.
Somebody got a panel full of friends.
I could go up there, spend one night, and come right back.
Yeah, right.
Be here, be back for work. I can't. I'm on call this
you don't need to go to Colorado. You just got it right there. Yeah.
That's the thing, man. If I travel 16 hours, I'm at least staying 2 days.
Yeah.
Look, when a tsunami hits, just go visit Hutch.
Yeah, no doubt.
I have a fully functioning shower and a fully functioning outhouse and a big ass field. Come on.
Oh shit.
I saw that. Yeah, hell yeah.
You
Shower
don't need
and
no
an
dang
outhouse.
Yep.
A shower and an outhouse.
Uh-huh.
Did you get your door covered?
On the outhouse?
What on
I caught. Yeah, I saw that comment
On the
too.
shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the shower up.
Oh.
I got to go get bits and stuff tomorrow to finish it up. Like I told,
Okay.
hey, we work based on how many cents we can collect over the week. You know what I mean? So it's that time of year. It's a mad dash for winterized shit.
Wait,
get there.
You actually built like a gravity-fed shower out there?
No, I got pipes and stuff ran out there.
Damn. Hutch ain't playing around at all.
You got serious.
Yeah.
No.
For real. It's legit.
Hey, I told y'all, this is going to be a little Disney World. Like, I'm literally never going to have to leave this property for a damn thing once I'm done with it. Fuck the rest of the world. You know what I mean? I'm good here.
I hear that, man.
They're gonna be bringing you everything to
No
bar,
doubt.
eggs, everything, flour, bread,
Right?
water. I'm like, please, Hutch. Yeah.
Man, time flies when you're having fun, man. We got about 10 more minutes, and then we got to make the move over to the secret society.
Oh yeah.
Got about 10 more minutes. Hang out with everybody, but we're gonna be going live over there on the membership. We gotta do something for the members, you know. Appreciate y'all, appreciate everybody, but we gotta do what we gotta do. So in about 10 minutes, we're gonna end this one. We're gonna head on over to the membership live and hang out for a little while longer. And what you got, Hutch? What
Perfect
you got?
What are you doing, Hutch?
Everybody's
Reese's.
swirled on Hutch's Reese's.
Oh.
There it is. There it is.
All of us wanting the Reese's now. I know I do. Damn you, Hutch.
So tell me, just Josh.
What's up?
What's your number one worry right now, man? What's the main thing you're looking at? Like, damn, that could be really bad for us.
Man,
Number one.
Dark winter. Dark winter. I'm looking for I need more propane, heating sources, cooking source. That's what I'm on right now. The winter is coming. It's gonna be cold and dark.
Yeah.
It could be grid down, ransomware. There's no telling what could happen. So propane, gas, heating sources, cooking sources, that type of thing. That's what I'm on right now. That's what I'm stocking up on.
Got you. I'm gonna go around because I'm curious to know about everybody's thoughts. Hutch, what you worrying about, man? Just getting the weed done.
Ain't got any more worries now.
No, but seriously,
Worried about mold growing on his buds.
Right. Hey, Lucky, don't say that shit. What's wrong with you? Knock on wood. The only thing that really freaks me out is anything that has to do with this climate change bullshit, because it's all going to tie back into the Green New Deal. You know, and then that's going to affect farmers. Like, there's literally 1,000 things that one legislation can cover, and you know, that's the only thing that really freaks me out.
Yeah.
what about you, Lucky Dane?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I have just one concern in particular. There's so much going on right now. What we're doing here just for us is, you know, just trying to be as prepped as we can for, I'm going to call it general prepping, but we're covered, and pretty much no matter what happens. I think probably the only thing we are lacking in would be nuclear. I mean, we don't have a way to dig a basement or a bunker and pull the dirt in behind us anyway. So, you know.
Right. Are you worried about a repeat of weather down there in Texas?
No, not really. No. I'm not.
You think you should be?
Really?
No, not really.
Lucky.
I don't think we're going to have a repeat of what happened of the weather, like what we had in February. Now, if you're talking about grid down, that's a possibility. Sure. I think everybody absolutely saw that. And I've been seeing where people are kind of prepping a little bit more than they had before in Texas for winter, because no one wants to repeat that.
Yeah.
So could there be more power outages and all? Yeah, I think so. Mr. just stopped and is looking at me. I'm on a live, babe. What's up? He's walking by. He's organizing stuff, and he's walked by with some cold weather gear, and he showed it to me. So we're good for cold. We're good for cold weather here. We learned a lot last February. A lot, you know. But yeah, we're good for it. So no, as far as weather, not necessarily for grid down. That's not off the table. I don't think so.
Awesome.
Got you. POTB. What you worried about, man? What you worried about?
Honestly, nothing. But well, okay. Let me clarify.
Yes.
I'm worried about nothing because I'm fine if the nuclear war, I'm gonna die anyways.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, if grid down, anything ever happens or anything like that, I'm okay with struggle. I think it builds character, and I've got what I've got. I'm not worried about anything like that. The only thing I'm worried about is a slow boil, right? This slow boil of what they're doing to us right now, because they're going so mediocre. Like we said earlier, it's the worst apocalypse ever. They're going so slow that it's just, I'm not having to run down here and get my stuff. I'm not having to do like my prep. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of losing. I'm just losing.
Yeah.
Got you. Native voice. I know you got some worries, brother. What you got?
All right, so one thing is an EMP tag. I'm not worried about the grid down because we have our solar grid, but it's not EMP protected. So an EMP could wipe out my solar grid. I'm not worried about it. We'll be okay. Like, we have contingencies, but a lot of I don't know, just because my family is going to be in culture shock when the shift happens. There's going to be no internet. You know how youngsters are, man. There's going to be a transition for them. And then past that is, once everything is locked down and the food supply is under total control, the marauders, they're going to come in, and what's going to have to be done, like what my family is going to have to do with me if we stay here. So that's why we're doing in the memberships, man. Like, we're doing important work, man. All you guys, all the Brave Nation and the Secret Society, what we're doing is we're laying groundwork for stuff, and I appreciate it.
No doubt. All right. And my worry, I gotta tell you, man, I am worried for y'all down in Texas. I think the weather patterns, I don't think they come and go. I don't think it was a 1 year freak thing. I think y'all are gonna get pounded this year, and probably for the next couple. That's just my guess. I ain't no weatherman or nothing, but I really think y'all might have to deal with some crazy shit. And it might even be worse than this year than last year.
Agreed.
But that's just, and with all these volcanoes putting all this shit into the atmosphere and all this shit, man, I just see it I can see it being a real cold one, man. Yeah. And power outages beyond belief, and it doesn't even have to be ransomware. It could just be power outages because of all the snow or the weather or the wind. I mean, there was a hurricane on land just this past week or something. The weather pattern kind of made a hurricane. It wasn't as strong as a hurricane, but it was still like serious winds and shit. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. I'm like, okay, these patterns, they just keep getting crazier and crazier.
Yeah.
So I'm just dealing with the weather. I'm prepping up for the weather, man.
Yeah. It's coming from all different directions, brother.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like there's so much out there. It's gotten to the point where I don't feel like I can watch any one thing or couple things. It's just the table scattered, littered with everything. So all I can do is just pull it back and focus on what we need to have here and what we think's, the likely thing of the day or the week, and run with it, So.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're at the 2-minute mark. I just want to let the chat know, we got the membership. It's only $3. I know, you ain't got to join. I get it. A lot of people, they don't want to do the membership thing, and it's frowned upon with some, and I get that. I understand. But, we try to do what we can on YouTube to work with YouTube, to do what we can do. Whatever we try to do, we try to go with it to whatever. I don't even know how to explain it. But if you want to join, it's $3. You can join us. We do some live streams. Try to have fun with it. I'm just starting to do it, so I'm really learning off a native, to tell you the truth. But we're trying to get some shit going and try to have some fun with it. But we're going to be going live over there in about 10 minutes. I think we're supposed to be doing that at like 11:10. But to every, I'm gonna go ahead and end this one. That way we can all go use the bathroom or whatever we gotta do. Whoever wants to join us over there, y'all got the link. You know what I'm saying? Hang out over there for a little while, talk some more shit, do our thing. So, anybody got anything they want to say before we end this?
Keep
Let's get
prepping.
it.
Yeah.
Prep.
Prep.
Let's get it.
Don't stop. Get it.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll see all those new members over there on the new chat.
Yeah, we'll see y'all in a little bit, man. We got work.
76. I had to say it. Just saying.
All right, y'all. We're going to dip out. See y'all next time. We'll get something popping later on this week. Maybe even tomorrow, maybe Sunday or something, man. You never know. Something pops up. We be hanging. But we see y'all soon. We appreciate all y'all being here with us, hanging out with us.
Have a good
We'll
night.
catch y'all on the next one.
All right,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Good night.
Peace.
Deuces. Victory.